All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL Team League. I am Moltrap. With me here is Kaldor, and we are going to be witnessing a match between none other than FXO Lucky and Yongsong-E, which FXO Slog just informed me is the Korean word for mushroom. So that is why we're having people say that it's the same as mushroom. We haven't been able to get confirmation though. No one seems to know much about Yongsong-E, so we're not sure if he's the same player, but that would stand to reason, I guess.
Yeah, so he's a Protoss player, so we have a ZVP coming up, and therefore I think we can safely assume that he is indeed ZeNEX Mushroom, and I just checked a little bit up on him as well. We don't have too many information about him.
You go to let's look at Mushroom's Korean name, and we can match it up and see if it's the same Korean. Yep, that is, no wait, yes, same one. Okay, yeah. So there you go, Mushroom is the other ID that we've known him by in the past, although we haven't seen too many games from him as Mushroom either. Sorry about the confusion there, but we just didn't know he had that ID. But we're going to get straight into his game and see what he's made of right now.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the top of the map in the red. We have our player for FXOpen. He already took down one player of the ZeNEX lineup. It is
FXO Lucky!
That is right, and this time he does not have to face a Terran player. No, ZeNEX sent out one of their Protoss players. Actually, I think it's even, is it the only Protoss player that they have?
Well, no, of course not. They have ZeNEX Dream.
Yeah, sorry.
But here is their Protoss player. That's a different nickname than we thought.
Yongsong-E!
There we go. And yeah, so
I found one game of Mushroom. He played against King Kong, one game against Zerg, that is. He played against King Kong in the KSL, but he was not able to win. He lost with 2-0.
Well, apparently he was able to beat Noblesse in an ESV a couple months ago, but then lost to Guinea Pig, so apparently he's a decent player. I think this is really going to kind of show what he's made of, though, especially as PVZ, since this is going to be a real test of his abilities. We're going to be able to see kind of how well he can play here. And the drone is going to go ahead and scout in here, sees that forward pylon, knows exactly what is going to be happening here. Pylon. Oh, and whoa, he's going for the proxy hatchery.
I like it, and I think
he says, you want to block my hatch with a pylon? I'm going to block your Nexus with a hatchery. And we've actually seen this before. Sometimes people do it just as kind of a troll thing, but sometimes they actually let it finish and actually build Zerglings and a Queen, and if you can get a Creep Tumor out with your Queen, you can completely stop all production of Nexus for a long time. It can actually be really good. In fact, was it Lenok that we saw do that before?
Yu-Gi-Oh does that occasionally. Okay. He really likes it. But the thing is that I think this is probably going to be really annoying for ZeNEX Mushroom, because his main problem is that his forge is just done just now. The hatch will definitely finish, and then he will immediately...
Oh!
That's not gonna happen. He will pull drones right away. There they are. I don't think that ZeNEX Mushroom has a chance in this game. He's now building a second cannon, but the hatch is going to finish. The pool is already done, so we will see Zerglings streaming into the main base of ZeNEX Mushroom, and he doesn't have a pylon or... Well, neither a pylon nor obviously a cannon in his main base.
He's taking his hatchery a little bit lightly. The hatchery finishes, he immediately starts a Queen and some Zerglings, and that first cannon is not going to be within range to attack the hatchery, so he's going to be a little bit worried here. Now, he'd actually... Oh, never mind, it is. I'm sorry, it's just within range, and it looks like that was actually a really beautiful place to put that, because now that cannon can protect his front from Zerglings, and it can also hit that hatchery. Very cool.
There's one thing that is even more important. The Queen will be out, he will place down a tumor, and that means that there's no way he can get a second base. Oh. There won't be a second base for Mushroom, and at the same time now...
Creep Tumor goes down.
There's the Creep Tumor, so this base is not gonna happen.
Nope.
It's not gonna happen. There's no way, and at the same time Lucky is in a position where he can attack the main base of his opponent. He has the Queen, so he can take down the Zealot without a problem at all. The Zerglings shielding the Queen a bit, and we will see an expansion for Lucky, and there he is building his expansion at the natural. So this is a horrible situation for ZeNEX Mushroom to be in, and there are Zerglings everywhere. He's getting
he's
into
gonna
the
run
main
into the main.
base. That's
wow, and the cannon is not yet complete in that main mineral line. He's gonna have to micro probes until it finishes there. It's about to finish. He's gonna be safe. Well, yeah, Lucky has basically stopped Young Song-yi from ever getting an expansion. I mean, there's no way that the creep will stop him from putting a cannon in a place where he can, well, actually, I'm not sure. I've never seen the situation before, but he may be able to. Oh, wow, that Zalt barely goes down to that Zergling.
No, he can't kill it.
Yeah, I don't think he can get a cannon close enough to the tumor to actually kill it. He's going to have to get observers before he can ever get anything to kill those creep tumors.
Well, the one thing that is going, well, not... The one problem that Lucky had for a while is that his drone count was really, really low. He has to make sure that right now he has an overlord position to see what his opponent is doing. If there were a couple of cannons at his natural, for example, that was one thing that Mushroom could do in order to get back into this game. But now, with the creep tumors in position, he just can't get that second base. And the only option that he has is either wait for the robotics, get an observer, or he can try to take the third outside of his base, and then he can't defend it. So Lucky is well aware of what is happening now. He's sending out a couple of Zerglings. He will be in a position where he can spot an attack by his opponent early on. And I think that, well, Mushroom is probably going for some kind of all-in right now, because he just can't do anything. There's the pylon, already scouted by Lucky Zerglings. He's just in the best position he could be in now, and he is capitalizing on it.
Yeah, this is a really cool move. And this is the one time I saw this, again, I don't remember who it was. I thought it was Lenok, but I could be wrong. The one time I saw this before, they did an inject with the Queen instead of a creep tumor, and so this is a really the better way to play it, I think, going for the creep tumor to just completely block that expansion.
Usually you don't get the Queen. Usually you can't get the Queen out in time, and your opponent just makes sure that the hatch dies. Even then, the expansion will be delayed by quite a bit, and you can wait for the 3 lava. You build the 6 Zerglings at the same time, and then you run into your opponent's main base. You will lose 1 or 2 Zerglings. And what the hell is he doing with those Stalkers? Speed is finishing, and both Stalkers will die. Well, maybe only one of them, as there are already reinforcements. But still, he attacked way too far into the Zerg's main base, into the area of the Zerg's second, in order to save those 2 Stalkers. So, well,
I guess he didn't expect Speed to be finishing is all, so he thought he would be okay kiting.
It's the 9-minute mark. You must realize that at around 9 minutes, the Zerg player will have speed, even with a really weird build that we just had. There are already 2 Spine Crawlers, no +1 for our Protoss player, and with Hydralisk coming up, 16 Zerglings popping in a few seconds, Lucky will be able to defend against it.
That's interesting to see the Hydralisk Den. We're going to see Hydraling, I guess, coming out here from Lucky. And yeah, the robotics facility is up, and he actually starts off with a Warp Prism instead of an Observer. So that's kind of interesting as well. Both players kind of doing some uncharacteristic stuff here.
Well, he's not gonna try and take his natural. He knows fully well that he has no chance of getting even in economy with his opponent. He needs to go for some kind of all-in, and getting the Warp Prism is actually a smart move, because he can use it in order to get onto the high ground, warp in with a bunch of his pylons that he built at the bottom, and try to drop at the same time. If he is able to block the ramp with his sentries, the force field, then he might be able to take down the main base of his opponent. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
Very good idea there. That is going to be pretty cool. Now we have Lucky actually has put his Zerglings on the ramp, so they can't immediately be boxed out.
And
no, he's just pulled them into the main here.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Lucky is fully aware of what might be potential danger to his build, so there is no way that ZeNEX Mushroom is going to block the ramp with force fields.
Yep, and the Hydras are out as well, which means that the Warp Prism is in danger if it goes into the main, so this has completely been thwarted.
Mushroom is now following it up. He's trying to build 1 base Colossi. The creep tumors are now being killed. It will still take a while until the creep is completely gone, and, well, this is not only going to be a down on the battle for Mushroom, but this is a Protoss player dying a slow but painful death. Yep.
And we do see that he hasn't actually droned up his natural expansion that much yet, so It's not as if Lucky is too far ahead. He is definitely ahead.
Well, he couldn't drone up too much because he knew for a fact that his opponent was going for some kind of all-in, so saving up a couple of lava in order to build units was the smart choice. But now that he knows that he has enough units and that his opponent killed the creep tumors, that he is in a position where he can drone up, he's doing exactly this. He's already on 43, he's building 7 additional ones. He will be on 50 drones in just a few seconds, and has the Spire nearly completed. So that's a really good position for Lucky to be in.
A little bit surprised he didn't go for the Spire immediately, to be honest, going for those Hydralisks first instead. The Hydras, I guess, pretty good against the Gateway units he knew were coming, since he knew there couldn't be Colossus for... Well, he knew there just couldn't be Colossus. Now that there are going to be Colossus, the Spire is going up, and he's going to be able to get out units to deal with those Colossi very easily.
We just can't afford Colossi on only one base. You need the additional gas. That's why pro players usually wait for the Colossi before they get the second base, and you even have a third base now coming up. One base Colossi is not going to work.
He's going to use an Overlord to creep that Nexus spot again.
He doesn't even have the gas.
Hilarious. Oh, is he going to get it down? Oh, he gets the Nexus down. I thought he was going to creep it up. This may just be a scouting Overlord, but I thought that would be the funniest troll thing to put creep on that spot again. Anyway, we do have ZeNEX Mushroom getting up his third base now as well. He's just going to try and basically bunker and try and get into a late game situation is what it seems like.
If you would be able to establish 3 bases, that would obviously be really good for him. Protoss can get a really decent army and then just try to carry the momentum after winning a fight into the Zerg player's main base, but I don't see that happening. We have 50 against 32 Harvesters already, third base coming up for Lucky as well. So the Zerglings and the Mutalisks are just trying to get in a position where they can take down one of the bases, harass their opponent a bit. And I think that Lucky at some point will even just try to macro it up and get one base after another. He's playing it safe right now. He could go for some kind of attack for pressure, trying to do some all-in, but he's playing it very safe now. He wants to win this game, so he's taking it easy for the time being, and is now getting the 4th base that I just talked about, so yeah. Lucky's playing a really safe game. He wants to win it, so he's taking every precaution that he can.
Yep, and he's definitely ahead, as we can see, by 50 supply at the moment. So he is just in such good shape. He's got a better economy, he's got a better army, he's got a better everything, and he can harass with these mutas, and there's not really much that Young Sung-Yi can do about it.
Well, Mushroom is trying to defend 3 base, but there are the Zerglings streaming in now. Nice. Most of the army is at the 3rd base, has to walk down. Blink is not done just yet. The Stalkers are having a huge problem fending off the Mutalisks and the Zerglings at the same time. And now he can just run into the main base to try to take down a couple of probes over there.
Oh, and the Hydra's attacking the 3rd while he's distracted in the main by the Mutas. Beautiful multitasking play by Lucky. He's going to lose these Hydras now, unfortunately.
But it doesn't matter at all. He's just trading armies. He's happy to do so. He knows that he is on a very good economy, way better than the economy of his opponent. Now he's attacking so everything just head on. He knows there's not enough anti-air. Well, a couple of units joined, but well.
That actually wasn't the best trade, to be honest. He lost about 30 supply and only killed about 5 supply. He got a few probes. He got a couple stalkers. He got a couple sentries, but instead he lost 10, 11 Hydralisks. He lost a few dozen Zerglings. It wasn't really the best trade. He's still ahead, but he needs to not be so sloppy, actually. He needs to be continuing to play safe.
He lost mostly minerals. The Hydralisks, he can't really use them anymore. They are way too slow. They would just stand around the main base. He's going for army composition that is very fast, very mobile, and he can't use the Hydralisks at all with his army composition. He needs to be a little bit careful with the Mutalisks, of course.
Nope, doesn't take it.
Still, we have him now on 74 Harvester supply against 42. He's on 4 bases, and this is usually the problem that you have on Antigua getting the 4th base, and he's just bouncing between bases, taking down a couple of Stalkers, taking down probes.
Pretty much, yeah, he's just bouncing around, using the map to his advantage with these mutas, actually going in, just going for the kill, figuring if he can take out all these Stalkers, he will be able to kill everything else. There's the GG! FXO Lucky is 2/5 of the way to the all-kill that his team expects from him, and ZeNEX has yet to throw anything challenging, anything remotely challenging at him.
Yeah, that's Mushroom. Looks a little bit like, yeah, what could I have done, but Lucky, he played it very well.
What was that?
I have no
Threw
idea.
something to his team. I didn't see what though.
I don't know what it was, but he and Linux seem to get along very, very well.
And he's going to go ahead and drink some tea there. That's why he's such a good Zerg. He's drinking this tea.
I actually expect we just got the invite to the next map, ladies and gentlemen, and it's gonna be Tomb Valley.
Tomb Valley.
So far, most of the players that have chosen Tomb Valley in order to play against Zerg have been Protoss. So, who comes to mind?
Next stream comes to mind.
Exactly. Let's see if they are really trying to put next stream up against Lucky now, or if they have a different player in mind. But this is going to be quite interesting. I have to say that I was a little bit surprised that they put out, that they used Mushroom for the second map, and Lucky.
I mean, let's just face it. ZeNEX just doesn't have a ton of good players to put out there.
Yeah.
They have a couple players that are pretty good, but they want to save them. They're hoping that someone can get, you know, a couple kills, maybe get lucky, and get lucky, you know, out of the way, so that they can save Life or you know, some of their other decent players for later on when they know they're going to need someone who has a chance in heck at beating Lenok, you know, or Oz. So I don't know, ZeNEX is just in a tough spot right now.
Yeah, they definitely are. They are already down 2 games, and still it's lucky fighting. There is this awesome amount of really good players that FXO still has in the lineup. We talked about it earlier. We have Gumiho, ASD, Leanlock, Oz. So it's just... Where are you going to pick?
And they are not going to hold back in this situation either. This is a double elimination. They've already lost their first set. If they lose here at the Consolation match, then they will be completely out of it. So they need to. They're not pulling any stops. They're pulling out all the stops. They're not pulling any punches. Sorry, I almost mixed my colloquialisms there. But they're going all out, so they're not going to hold back their best players.
No, they won't.
And I don't know if ZeNEX has anyone that can even hold a candle to Lenok.
Well, I think
We're going to find out who they're going to throw in there right now, though.
Yes, we will.
And that is going to be Life. They are pulling out Life already.
Going for the ZVZ.
Interesting.
Well, Life is certainly the best player in the lineup. If he's not able to take down Lucky, who will?
I don't know, man. I don't think anyone can. Life, I think, stands the best chance. Maybe Line, I guess, but I don't know. Maybe, you know, actually, I think
Life has.
You know who would have been better to send in right now? Kyrix.
Yeah.
He actually is okay in ZVZ. Sometimes he just wins games that he shouldn't. So he might have been a good person to throw in. Anyway, but they are going to send in Life, who apparently has never won a game in the Team League, according to those stats.
He's quite decent in
He's
ZVZ.
very good, though.
He has a 70% win ratio, only played like 10 games, though.
Yeah.
In Zerg vs. Zerg, that is. Mirror matchup.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it is his best matchup, actually, so he's won a lot of ZVZs, so it's definitely smart to put him in now that I actually look at that information.
I think it's kind of interesting to see that we have Tomb Valley for Zerg vs. Zerg. It's not a map that I would have expected Life to pick against his opponent, but well, he might have a strategy up his sleeve that Lucky is not prepared for. So let's see what we are going to see in this mirror matchup between Life and Lucky. We have FXO up against ZeNEX with 2-0. Ladies and gentlemen, the game is about to start. This is the GSTL.